Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Evi and I read books. Today I got quite a big stack of books over here because I got a fall book haul for you guys. In September and October and November I bought a couple of books. I actually had like a huge discount on books, but then I also bought a lot of full price books, which actually just makes the discount that I had like worth nothing. Currently I have from different shopping trips, like I said, it's from September, October, November, mainly October and November. In them I did have like a Dutch site who has huge discounts on pretty much perfect books, which is BOOKHAUL. I'm not sponsored or anything, I just stumbled upon them through Instagram and I just realized that they have like a ton, but literally a ton of books discounted. So if you're in Belgium or in the Netherlands, just check it out because like they have like books that are like 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 euros cheaper, and they're pretty much perfect books. Like they sell books that with a little bit of imperfections, maybe like a dent here and there, or books that are just not pretty enough to go on the actual bookstore shelves. They sell it, and I had so many books I bought through that with so many discounts. In November I also went to the book festival in Belgium, which is yeah, just like a place just in Antwerp, which is just a ton of books, and I bought a cookbook over there, but I don't have it right now, which I already made some stuff out of it and I'm in love with it. Like it's an oven recipe book. So first of all, I bought a book through Bookspot because I still have a subscription service on that. I might just cancel it because I don't really buy onto Bookspot that much, so I don't know if like it's worth paying 8 euros a month if I mainly buy my books through Amazon or through different services like in general, but I sometimes do buy a book there because I pay for it. And the book that I bought is Team Mortis Engels' Thoughts, which is like I think the 9th, 8th, 7th, I have no idea which part it is. I think it's the 7th or the 8th part in the Team Mortis series. I'm slowly catching up on this series, buying the books. I still like have the one before this one to read, and I think that's the 7th, so I think this is going to be the 8th. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a Dutch mystery thriller series for young adults, and it's about teenagers who actually try to solve crimes and are that's actually like a really short synopsis of this. Amazon is the place where I buy mainly my English books because they're cheaper on there, and let's just be honest, books are expensive everywhere, so I always try to get the best deals or the cheapest books. And I bought 2 continuations in a series. The first one I bought was Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the second book, Nevermore series. This is the second book in the Nevermore series. It's a really nice middle grade series. It's pretty sturdy paperback. I don't like it. Like you hardly able to bend it. I read are like floppy paperbacks, so I'm pretty much sure that probably spines are going to be broken or cracked while reading this one. I have read this series. Nevermore was actually about a girl who's cursed and was supposed to die on a certain day, but she sort of gets rescued, and there's this magical society who's helping her out, and that's Morgan Crow, obviously. So the first one was Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, and this one is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow. And then I finally bought this one. This is the 3rd book in the series I'm currently pretty much up to date with, except I still need to read this one obviously, and that's Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Menescalco, which is the 3rd book in a Stalking Jack the Ripper series. Stalking Jack the Ripper series takes place in the 1800s, where there is a girl who wants to be actually like an doctor or like a medical examiner, but in the 1800s, let's just be honest, women aren't really allowed to do that. But she has an uncle who really helps her out, who teaches a lot, and it's during the time period of Jack the Ripper, obviously, so it also has to do a little bit with that. And the second book is Hunting Prince Dracula, and so this is the 3rd one, Escaping from Houdini. I'm pretty much sure that they're right now in America. I'm gonna go to the BOOKHAUL books that I bought. Most of them, all of the books are in Dutch, but most of them are translated books, so they are also available in English. BOOKHAUL doesn't really have actual English books, or I didn't really many that I want, so that's why I have them in Dutch. I don't mind reading translated books, but I also love reading in the original language. That's the reason why I buy a lot of books in English. I can say all of these books are pretty good. My mom has read them all already. I obviously don't, because I'm falling behind on my TBR so much that it's terrible. Let's just say that it's terrible. Some of them are BookTube buys, and that's because Books and Lala, I love her videos and I love her channel, and I actually never really read her books, or like, she does recommend a lot of books in her videos and in her vlogs, and I'm always interested, but I don't really get around to buying them. So I found some of the books she mentioned like throughout the year, or like 2 years, like a long time already, and I decided to buy them. I don't even know anymore what she actually thought about those books. I just remember putting them on a wish list. So the first book that I got through her videos is Stacks by M.A. Bennett. Okay, I'm gonna read it off of my computer screen because these are obviously Dutch descriptions, and I just looked up the English description really quickly. So I'm just gonna read off the computer screen, but that's why I'm looking down. It is the autumn term, and Greer MacDonald is struggling to settle into the sixth form at the exclusive St. Aidan, the great boarding school, known to its privileged pupils at the SDAGS. Stacked. To her surprise, Greer receives a mysterious invitation with 3 words embossed up on it: hunting, shooting, fishing. An invitation to spend the half-term weekend at the country manor of Henry de Warlencourts, the most popular and wealthy boy at Stags. Over the next 3 days, as the 3 blood sports, hunting, shooting, and fishing, become increasingly dark and twisted, Greer comes to the horrifying realization that those being hunted are not wild game, but the very misfits Henry has brought with him from school. And the next book I got through Books and Lala actually is an adult thriller, and that is The Chalkman by Cj Tudor. I'm also just gonna read the English description down below on my computer for a second. So in 1986, Eddie and his friends are just kids on the verge of adolescence. They spend their days biking around their sleepy English village and looking for any taste of excitement they can get. The Chalkmen are their secret code, little chalk stick figures they leave for one another as messages only they can understand. But then a mysterious Chalkman leads them right to a dismembered body, and nothing is ever the same. So it's a little bit of a cold case type of thriller with like, I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes. I mean, kind of, I don't know. Like, that's what I got. Like, maybe it's just because I'm watching the I Know What You Did Last Summer series that I got that vibe of it. Like, something happened like a couple of years ago, and now I'm telling you what happened. Although last summer is only a year. Okay, so it's an adult thriller. It's more of a matte cover, which I do really like, but it also feels soft in a certain way. But like, I do not know what type of paper they use for it, but it feels fun. And then the next book I bought is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wayne. This is the only book my mom did not like, and it's a war book, and I actually bought it because, you know, I sometimes like war books. I mostly don't really like war books, so I thought my mom mostly liked them. But the fact that she didn't like it, I am a little bit scared. If I'm correctly, this is a young adult's historical fiction, and I'll just read again the English synopsis off my computer screen for a second. October 11th, 1943, a British spy plane crashes in Nazi-occupied France. Its pilot and passengers are best friends. One of the girls has a chance at survival. The other has lost the game before it's barely begun. When Verity is arrested by the Gestapo, she's sure she doesn't stand a chance. As a secret agent captured in an enemy territory, she's living a spy's worst nightmare. Her Nazi interrogators give her a simple choice: reveal her mission or face a grisly execution. My mom has read it, and a complaint she has about it, like she was like maybe 50 pages in or something. But she said it was mostly planes, and she said like I did not thought it was interesting, so I'm really curious once I read it if I think the same, or if it's just something to push through, or if I don't really mind the plane talk that much. Okay, then the next book, I'm not really sure if I'm even able to read a synopsis about it because it's a Scandinavian thriller, and obviously there is a Dutch translation on it, and I've googled the English one, but let us all be honest, those names are terribly difficult most of the time. But I'm talking about Snowblind by Ragnar Johansson, I think, or Johansson? I do not know how you pronounce his name. By this guy. And like I said, it's Snowblind. It's a really floppy paperback, which I love because a lot of Dutch books don't have floppy paperbacks or floppier paperbacks. It's still not extremely floppy, but it's floppy for like it stays open. Like I said, it's a Scandinavian thriller, so I'm gonna butcher every name that I'm gonna mention in the synopsis, which let's just try at least. Okay, Siglufjordur. Oh god. An idyllic, quiet fishing village in northern Iceland, where no one locks their doors, accessible only via a small mountain tunnel. Ari Thor Arason, a rookie policeman on his first posting, far from his girlfriend in Reykjavik, with a past that he's unable to leave behind. When a young woman is found lying half naked in the snow, bleeding and unconscious, and highly esteemed elderly writer falls to his death in the local theater, Ari is dragged straight into the heart of the community where he can trust no one, and secrets and lies are a way of life. An avalanche and an unremitting snowstorm close to the mountains pass, and the 24-hour darkness threatens to push Ari over the edge. As curtains begin to switch and his investigation becomes increasingly complex, chilling and personal. Past plays tag with the present, and the claustrophobic tension mounts, while Ari is thrust ever deeper into his own darkness, blinded by snow and with a killer on the loose. So it's a killer story. We all love killer stories, obviously. Like I said, leave down in the comments below if you like the fact that I read the synopsis like in English from my computer, or you rather just have like how I do my older videos without any synopsis from books, only my wrap-ups. Because I don't know if it's like if you like it more or not, or if I need to just read it and make my own synopsis for it before I am just telling it or reading it out of a screen. Just let me know in the comments below what you think you enjoy the most. That are from Dutch authors, so I don't really am gonna translate any synopsis because, like I said, they're Dutch authors, and I'm pretty sure they're not translated. Sometimes Dutch authors are translated, so then you can, but like I'm pretty sure those aren't. The reason actually why I even purchased at BOOKHAUL was because of this author, because I said there was a lot of books of her on that site, and I just don't know if I like her as an author. So that is Susanne Vermeer, and this is Labyrinth. It's a really reflective cover. I am so sorry. It's an adult thriller, and she has a lot of thriller books, but I just don't know if she was a good author. And then I saw her books, like actually I think it was an Instagram ad for the site with her books on it, and I've always been curious about her. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy one of her books and a bunch of other books that I'm interested in that I found and to see if I like her. My mom liked her, so I might just buy other books of her, but first I want to read obviously this one to see if I actually like it. Then I have Labyrinth by Esther Hoof. These are short thriller stories, also from a Dutch author. Same thing actually, I saw a lot of her books recently passing through like the Dutch Instagrams and bookstagrams and stuff, and I'm just curious if she's even a good, like if I like her writing style. And I saw this bundle of short stories on that site, and I thought, you know what, let's just get reading this one. And you know, short stories are maybe not the best way to get into an author, but you do have a vibe of like different writing styles she uses. This is the last book of the BOOKHAUL order, and I thought it was a Dutch author, but apparently it's just an English one. And this book is called Vanity, but the original English the English title is Ghost Flower by Michelle Jeff. Same thing, I'm just gonna read the synopsis. Eve is a runaway, finds a new job at her coffee shop on the outskirts of Tuscan. When she's approached by two wealthy teens who claim she bears an uncanny resemblance to their missing cousin Aurora, her life takes a turn for the dark and the mysterious. Drawn into a scheme to win Aurora's inheritance, Eve finds herself impersonating the girl who disappeared 3 years ago on the night of her best friend's Elizabeth death. But when Liza's ghost begins to haunt Eve, doing harm to the people chose to her under the guise of her protecting her. Eve finds herself in a nightmare maze of lies and deception that leads her to question even her own identity. She realizes her own chance is to uncover the truth about what happened the night Liza died, and to find Liza killers before she's next. This teen thriller by Michelle Jeff will keep readers turning pages well into the night. So it's a young adult thriller. I remember once borrowing this one from the library, but like at that time I wasn't reading as much as I'm right now reading, and I actually never got around to actually reading this one. So when I saw it, I think I got this one free because there was like this 2 + 1 free or something, and I think this one was one of the ones that I got free. So you know, I decided to give it a try, and my mom said she really did enjoy it. So talking about one of my favorite Dutch authors, it's Cj Tudor, and this is her latest book. I think it came out in September or something. This is Je hebt een nieuwe volger, which is like a social media type of, I think, thriller or maybe even murder mystery. I think thriller. But one thing, I bought this at the book festival, and I'm all fun. They always put like a sticker of the book festival on it, and I do really like it because I went there once like 10 years ago almost. And I really like the fact that you can see, like, in this year I bought that book on the book festival, but the person who stickered some of these didn't do really a great job because he literally stickered it on the synopsis. Okay, I don't really read my synopsis, but like, why? There's like so many blank space over here. Why put the sticker there if you can just put it over here? That was my only like little annoyance with it. And then let's just stay in the Dutch and the Belgian territory with one of my other horror thriller type of authors, and it's also a Dutch one, and that is Danielle Backhaus. I always hit myself in the face with the book. And this is Het Huis Zonder Einde. It's a horror book. I have read one of her other horror books. Her books are quite short, so you can really read them like in an hour or two most of the time, but I do really enjoy them. I remember the other one, I think it's Clown House or something, or Clown's Night, something like that. They're not translated. They're young adult thrillers, and I remember like it was pretty cliche horror slasher movie prompts and tropes, but I did enjoy that. Like, it really gave me a nice spooky and fun vibe. So I'm really hoping this one gives somewhat of the same vibe to me. Yeah, like the same thing, probably the same person stickered this book, but like, why on a synopsis? Then I bought a book that I have read when I was younger. I have multiple of his books, and he's a Belgian author, a contemporary YA thriller, real topics type of author. He always deals a lot of topics and a lot of stuff that's happening in the world. And I saw this type of cover actually, and there were multiple books of them, but I didn't know which one I still own, because I'm not gonna buy a different copy of a book just because I like this cover or this art style more. But I do know that I own like 5 or 6 or 7 books. I do really want to read all of his books again, and I remember loving them when I was younger. So I bought Het Engelenhuis by Dirk Brekke. It's a really shiny cover. It's a floppier cover, but like, I just really love the spine with the color. And like I said, there were different colors. This book is also turned into a Belgian movie called, I think the movie itself is called Bo. And if I'm correctly, it's about a girl who ends up being a prostitute when she's like 15 or 16 years old, or like a lover boy type of story. Like I said, he deals with a lot of like real traumas and real things that happen in the world, but people don't really talk about. And that's what I loved about this when I was younger, because it raises awareness in a different way. Like, you know that there are lover boys, and you know that there is like, I think he has one with like drug a drug dealer, and I think one with like autism or something, or like there are like a lot of real life topics that he discusses in his books in a way that you are getting a lot of information about, like diseases, because I think he has also one of AIDS. If I'm correctly, I think he also has one that deals with AIDS and everything, and like with teenage pregnancies. He has so many topics, and I love it. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure they're not translated, which is sad maybe, because I would recommend every young girl or adult or anybody to read this one. So obviously, as an adult, I haven't read them again. I'm planning on reading them soon. I hope I'm reading them soon actually, because I remember those topics were so fun to read. It's maybe the wrong word to use fun when I'm talking about those topics, but more like it raises awareness, but in an explainable, dealable way. Later by Stephen King. This is also the Dutch version, so I don't have the synopsis with me. Obviously, I am slowly reading some Stephen King books. I have read the first 2 of the Mr. Mercedes series. I have the 3rd one of the Mr. Mercedes series here. This is my to-read bookshelf, by the way. And I also have the Intruder, I think it's in English, like this really big. So I still have 2 Stephen King books, but Stephen King is like an author that I really want to get into a lot. So I actually buy those books without knowing what they're about. So I'm just going to read the English synopsis, again from the computer. Sometimes growing up means facing your demons. The son of a struggling single mother, Jamie Conklin just wants an ordinary childhood. But Jamie is no ordinary child. Born with an unnatural ability, his mom urges him to keep secret. Jamie can see what no one else can see and learns what no one else can learn. But the cost of using his ability is higher than Jamie can imagine, as he discovers when an NYPD detective draws him into the pursuit of a killer who has threatened to strike from beyond the grave. Later is Stephen King's at his finest, terrifying, touching story. So it's a little bit, I do like the supernatural part because, yes, they're thrillers, but I think, like, I haven't really read any supernatural one because I think the first 2 of Mr. Mercedes aren't that supernatural. But I do know, like, I remember watching Carrie, like, multiple times, the old one and the new one. And I really love the fact of the supernatural aspect in the movies. I watched it, like, really like that one. I haven't read them. That's the reason, because I really like the movies of Stephen King. That's the reason why I want to love his books. And I don't really dislike the 2 books I have already read. I just really need to start reading more of his books. Okay, so the next book is of a Dutch author, but it's translated in English, so that's why I'm not putting it on the Dutch author version. And that is Even If We Break by Marieke Nijkamp. Like I said, I think all of her books are translated. So it's always fun to see, like, Dutch authors being translated. Like how do they do it? Even, like, what? Last time I saw Hex by Thomas Olde Heuvels translated. He's, I think, Belgian. I think he's even a Belgian author. Like, how do they get translated to English? Like, I'm so used to English books translated to Dutch. I haven't read Hex, by the way. I have read one of Thomas Olde Heuvels' books, and I just hated it. But I pushed through because I was hosting a book club for it, so I kind of pushed through with it, and I just did not like it. But that aside, Even If We Break by Marieke Nijkamp. So obviously this is a Dutch version, so I'm just gonna read like the short synopsis, I think. So 5 friends go to a cabin. 4 of them are hiding secrets. 3 years of history behind them. 2 are doomed from the start. 1 person wants to end this. No one is safe. It just sounds so intriguing, so fun. And then the last book I got is Sadie by Courtney Summers. It's a thriller, I think also a young adult thriller. This one is, I think, also adult or young adult, I'm not sure. And also this is the Dutch version again, so I'm gonna, look, this is what I mean. Like, put it over here, because this is just some author information I rarely read. Put the sticker over there. Like, not over there. Why? Okay, so I'm gonna read the synopsis again. When a popular radio personality, Wes McCrae, received a desperate phone call from a stranger imploring him to find 19-year-old runaway Sadie Hunter. He's not convinced there's a story there. Girls go missing all the time, but when it's revealed that Sadie fled home after the brutal murder of her little sister, Maddie, Wes travels to the small town of Cold Creek, Colorado, to uncover what happened. Sadie has no idea that her journey to avenge her sister will soon become the subject of a blockbuster podcast. Armed with a switchblade, Sadie follows meager clues, hoping they'll lead to the man who took Maddie's life, because she's determined to make him pay with his own. But as Wes traces her path to the darkest, most dangerous corners of big cities and small towns, a deeply unsettling mystery begins to unfold, one that's bigger than them both. Can he find Sadie before it's too late? I also heard that this audiobook is actually really great. But like I said, I saw it at a book festival, and I thought, you know what? I want to read this one already for so long. I'm just gonna buy it because I actually, all the books that I bought, like full price, I rarely buy books full price, but obviously at a book fair, they're only full price books. So I hold myself to the books that I really am saying for like a longer period of time that I want to read them, and not just books that like I see in a whim and buy. So I did have all of the books that I bought are on a wish list for a long time, or I know like these are just author buys because I know she's a great author, so it doesn't matter what she puts out. Even if she puts a nonfiction out, I'll probably still buy it. So these are all books that were on wish list quite a long time already. I bought a lot of books. I mainly don't buy that many books actually. I have like those periods of time. Like, I read a lot of books and then I end up buying a lot of books, and then I read a lot of books again, and then I buy a lot of books again. So this was one of the months and fall seasons I did buy quite a lot of books. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Leave down in the comments below if you liked the description telling like from the screen, or do I need to memorize them a little bit, or how do you think it's more enjoyable, so I can give book descriptions to you guys. If you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!